बाबूजी ने कहा गांव छोड़ दो, सबने कहा पारो को छोड़ दो, लेकिन आप ये पॉडकास्ट मत छोड़िएगा, आखिर तक सुनते रहिएगा. Welcome to Has It Aged Well? My name is Abbas and today we're discussing Devdas from 2002. With me here to discuss is my co-host Urjita Vani.
Hey, hello. That was missing in your introduction, Abbas.
Urjita, keeping with the theme of the episode today, तुम थोड़ा चढ़ा के आई हो कि नहीं?
हाँ
You didn't know this?
हाँ मैं पेड़ को पानी चढ़ा के आई हूँ. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Talking about दारू, शराब, alcohol. मैंने भी नहीं चढ़ाई. It's okay. We both are sober. We're going to talk about Devdas today. Before we begin, if you're listening to this on an audio platform, do rate us and leave us a review. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and share the video as much as you can. We'll take a short break, and when we come back on the other side of this break, we'll have a guest with us to talk about Devdas. See you on the other side of this break. Hello, everyone. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam is joined by Shanai Ghosh, CEO and Executive Director of Edelweiss General Insurance. They talk about technological advancements becoming an integral part of motor insurances. On Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, Cyrus is joined by Antariksh and comedian Masoom Rajwani. On the episode, Antariksh narrates an interesting story of Abhishek Bachchan, while Masoom shares his struggles of being a comedian. On Storytellers and Story Sellers, Vineet talks to Neha Sharma aka Neha Doodles. She shares how her passion for doodling led her to become a successful illustrator and cartoonist. On Explain Like I'm 10, Meghnad is joined by Chairman and Managing Director of Access My India, Pradeep Gupta, and joining him is me, Abbas Moment, to discuss exit polls and how they are conducted. And on the Musafir Stories, Darshan Dudoria, an ardent heritage enthusiast and co-owner of Murshidabad's first luxury hotel, takes us through the town and history of Badi Koti. And once again, do visit our merch store on ivmpodcast.com. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Do spread the word about any of our shows that you like. You can also check us out on YouTube. We are on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Volvo XC40 Recharge, Bumble, Heads Up for Tails, Kotak Privy League Program, and HDFC Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible. Welcome back. With me, as always, is Urjita, but आज हमारे साथ एक बहुत special guest हैं, who's always punctual and on time. You must have seen him on Instagram and on other shows where he discusses movies. He's someone who's very passionate about cinema, comedy, and Shahrukh Khan. Please welcome the one and only. He's a content creator and he is, as he said recently, unemployed. Please welcome Pulkit Kochar. Pulkit, welcome to Has It Aged Well?
Thank you so much. I really loved that you explained my qualities, like being on time. Like, please trust him.
Because you're never late. You're always, as Urjita also mentioned, you're very professional.
Yes, especially like 37 minutes late तो कभी
Never,
नहीं.
yeah.
Never.
I hope इसकी वजह से वो unemployed permanent ना रह जाए.
But I also like how Abbas ने एकदम अच्छे से introduce किया. He's a content creator. He's a comedian. I was like, hey, आपने शिनचैन वाले रील देखे क्या Instagram पे? वो जो शिनचैन बड़े eyebrows करके वो जो शिनचैन की acting करता है वो है ये बंदा.
In 2022, anything can pass off for comedy. We don't judge.
Wow.
Yes. Algorithm is king. But
And we are losers. Of algorithm.
let's rewind back to 20 years ago, to 2002, which is the movie, which is when the movie we're discussing today came out, Devdas, starring Sanjay Leela Bhansali's Devdas, not the other old Devdases. Actually, this is also pretty old now.
Yeah.
But I just realized I am talking to a 24-year-old and a 25-year-old. So, आप लोग तो मतलब गोद में रहे होंगे अपने माता पिता के जब ये फिल्म आई होगी. So, let's start with what are your first memories of Devdas, Pulkit?
आई थिंक ये तो मैंने टीवी पे ही देखी थी बिट्स एंड पीसेस में, एंड बस मुझे ये याद है कि बहुत ही अंधेरा सा था मूवी में, और ये मुझे सावरिया के टाइम पे ऐसे लगता था, और मुझे लेजेंड बचपन में लगता था कि डार्क मूवीज मतलब जिसमें लाइटिंग बहुत कम है तो मुझे
So for you, Sanjay Leela Bhansali was the darkest director
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Indian
yeah,
cinema.
yeah,
Hmm.
टिल ही मेड बाजीराव, इतनी बाजीराव भी डार्क ही थी
देवदास में काफी लाइट था, क्या बात कर
देवदास
रहा
में
है?
था, बट
हाँ।
स्टिल इट्स मोस्ट लाइक ऑल द रोमांटिक सीन्स व्हिच यू रिमेंबर आर फ्रॉम नाइट एंड
हाँ,
स्टफ,
Right.
yeah.
एंड
Was it the fault of the TV you were watching it on by any chance?
पॉसिबल मे बी ऑनिडा.
Okay.
नहीं, and I think there is some merit in what you are saying, because ऐसे romantic scenes वो तभी थोड़ा dark में shoot करते थे, because somebody had told me that love is supposed to be felt, not seen or heard. So that
Oh
is
my
why
God.
even while making love, मुझे तो नहीं पता, मैंने तो कभी नहीं किया. So
You turn off the light.
Yeah, you turn off the lights to feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally understandable.
So when was the first time you remember you saw this film from beginning to end? Did you revisit it after you came to an age where you had a crush, or like कि अब मुझे देखने की जरूरत है फिर से?
So in the pandemic, I think because we haven't seen Shahrukh for so long, I keep revisiting his old movies. Like I love Om Shanti Om and stuff. So similarly, I visited like Devdas a lot of times on YouTube, a lot of scenes. And my first memories are, I think, the songs, because they are so grand. Because like more than movies, you watch songs on
Yeah.
TV repeating on
Yeah.
9XM and stuff. So Dola Re Dola, I think the strongest memory for me, like from all the songs. But yeah, I think I remembered the movie again when Kabir Singh came out. Like we all remembered
Nice.
Tere Naam. Like, you know, those comparisons made you think like why Devdas was different than that.
Hmm.
Like,
You want to elaborate?
Yeah,
I
is
think,
it different?
I think no. So I think the best part was Shahrukh dies in the end, and like he doesn't get Paro. It's like they're not rewarding him. I think
Yeah.
that was the best part of Devdas.
So, if you remember the movie, my observation about Devdas was that I'm looking at Devdas from Devdas's perspective.
Hmm.
कि ये बंदा है, ये यूएस से आया है. पहली बात तो we all have that friend.
UK?
यूके सॉरी, सेम चीज है. अरे सेम
विलायत.
जो कभी देश से बाहर नहीं गए उसके लिए क्या यूएस क्या मालदीव्स. So anyway, तो we all have that one cousin or that one friend जो काफी साल तक ऐसे कंट्री में पढ़ते हैं, बट जब भी काम करने की बारी आती है सडनली इनको इंडिया आ जाता है.
Hmm.
तो वो कहने के लिए तो बोलते हैं कि ए मेरे देश की मिट्टी दिस एंड दैट, बट वी ऑल नो कि उधर कहीं चला नहीं, इसलिए वो यहाँ पे वापस आ गए. सो इफ यू थिंक अबाउट इट, व्हाट इफ देवदास का वहाँ पे जॉब वॉब नहीं लगा, ठीक है, यहाँ पे आके उसको पता चला उसको बाप के बिजनेस में भी वो काम नहीं कर सकता. सो ही रियलाइज कि यू नो व्हाट, आई एम एक्चुअली अनएम्प्लॉयड, आई हैव नो स्किल्स, नो टैलेंट, नो नथिंग, आई एम प्रैक्टिकली अ गुड फॉर नथिंग गाय, विच वॉज अ हिट टू हिज एरोगेंस. सो ही रियलाइज कि मैं पारो के सामने जो इतना एटीट्यूड मार रहा था, इंग्लिश मेरे को बोलने आ रहा था, ये सब उसको वो पकड़ लेगी शादी करते ही. सो द मोमेंट पारो को उसके घर वाले रिजेक्ट कर देते कि तुम छोटी जात वाली हो, ये वो, he doesn't like he tell her immediately. He could have like stood up for her, but instead what he does is वो उसके जैसी वो चली जाती है तभी वो बोलता है कि how dare you talk to her like that, but he also doesn't exactly like, there was no conviction in his standing up also. तो after that he writes her a letter कि हम दोनों के बीच कुछ नहीं, बाय बाय. उसने तो you think that he is broken up with her, अभी he has no reason to cry after this, and after that he becomes Devdas. So I feel everything he just needed a plan. He's like, I want to break up with her, okay, I want to ensure that I don't get married because I'm broke as fuck, and I also need a reason to cry and have alcohol.
Yeah.
So ये जो दूर चली गई उससे, तो कैसे अभी घर वालों को भी लग रहा है ना कि हमारी वजह से ये अलग हो गए, इसलिए बेचारा दारू पी रहा है. So he got a reason to drink. He just like, all in all, this is a guy who just needed a reason to drink and stay broke.
He needed a trigger, I think.
He just needed a trigger. So I feel
Thanks
that's...
for the plot synopsis, Urjita.
Yeah. So it is not at all a love story. In my eyes, it is just a guy who needed a reason to drink.
It seemed like you were pent up and you wanted to say this since you saw the movie. Like, I need someone to tell this to. But most of the story you recounted. The Devdas is a story of a wealthy man who, as you mentioned, comes back from the UK, which, by the way, was an addition by Sanjay Leela Bhansali in the original novel and the adaptation that I have seen with Dilip Kumar. He goes to Calcutta. He's sent away to Calcutta to study and
Oh.
become a part of society. But Sanjay Leela Bhansali was like, no, I'll go one step further.
Yeah.
He sent him to the UK.
Hmm.
And he comes back and he tries to, or rather, he rekindles his romance with his childhood friend, childhood love, who lives just across the road from his house. Her name is Paro. Paro's mother goes with the rishta, and the rishta is rejected because, like you mentioned, they don't consider her family to be worthy of their family. And because of this, he goes into depression and he finds this courtesan called Chandramukhi who tries to again revamp him. But he keeps on drinking and drinking and drinking, which leads to a mysterious illness because of which Devdas dies. And
Are we sure he dies? Yeah, acidity में वो लुत्फ तो क्यों गिरा होता
Liver
है?
fail is the most logical.
Yeah. Also, I feel. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, because liver fail is one of the most logical answers
Yeah.
of that.
I mean, they never tell us what the illness is, but yeah, we are assuming it's liver failure. Also because he's a teetotaler till the time he ends up at Chandramukhi's kotha.
I think he finds another a way to give something to his addiction or something.
Yeah.
No, but you know, while watching all these old movies, do you also like maybe I'm being too innocent or something, but when I watch these old movies, I'm like, don't fuck up, please, this time. You know, the movie will be same. यार ढंग से बात करना पारो से. तुझे पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है.
Can I just say it hurts a little bit when you called it an old movie because I was 14 years old when this movie came
You
out.
just think I'm talking about the Devdas, the old
the
Devanand one.
Bimal Roy,
also.
Devdas. But and the reason I asked, I mean, you guys must have been really young, but Devdas was a huge deal. Like the promotions were everywhere. At that time, it was the most expensive Indian film made.
Yeah.
And even before we saw even the first trailer, I remember hype बहुत था film का. Like, oh, amazing sets and the costumes are out of this world and Sanjay Leela Bhansali is making a great movie. And it premiered at Cannes. So before we come to Devdas and try and assess it, what are your guys' take on Sanjay Leela Bhansali and his cinema?
Sanjay Leela Bhansali, I feel Sanjay Leela Bhansali and his obsession with injuries.
Okay.
Because it's like, I'm sure in every Sanjay Leela Bhansali movie, she gets an injury and she's like, ये banded नहीं, ये तो मेरे मांग का सिंदूर है.
This is exactly in Bajirao Mastani.
बाजरो मस्तानी. Then हम दिल दे चुके सनम में भी वो जो उसका वो यहाँ पे वो लग जाता है. सलमान खान उसको मारता है. ठीक है, she's like, ये तो प्यार की निशानी है. I'm like, ये नहीं है.
For audio listeners, she's pointing to her wrist because if audio listeners उसके वहाँ पे लग जाता है, it's very suggestive. So I have to say it for the listeners.
This injury.
Wrist injury पर क्या पता वहाँ पे भी लग गया होगा. We don't know that. Maybe that is in between the lines.
And in Guzarish, though, he has a full paralytic patient only.
Yeah.
So can I make a confession? I'm not a Sanjay Leela Bhansali guy. I've never really liked or connected to his films. The only SLB film I actually like is the one that he gets the most shit for, which is Savarya. For whatever reason, I like Savarya. I think it's his only film that I like. I also like Khamoshi, which was his first film.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. I appreciate his films, like they're great to look at. Even Devdas, there were frames which are really beautiful. There's this beautiful moment where after Dev comes back, the first time he goes to see Paro, there is no dialogue, but there's only lighting and glass work where he puts a hand over the diya and feels it and looks at her and does creepy things in the night and then it slips away. I thought that was really beautiful, but on the whole, I don't know, I feel his films are very melodramatic and they are almost bordering on being regressive. That's what I feel. Pulkit, are you a SLB fan?
So I'm a very mainstream Bollywood fan.
Right.
So I'm not an SLB fan, but I like when his movies go full Bollywood.
Okay.
Like Bajirao Mastani is my favorite because it's like back-to-back dialogues. कि तूने मेरे साथ ऐसा कैसे किया? And like, you know, the whole melodrama, I love that bit. But yeah, I mean, so why I like him is because nowadays when people are trying to make realistic films, so they are in the midway. They are not making it totally realistic because that won't have songs and stuff, and like they're not being full dramatic because they're like, that's cliche. Sanjay Leela Bhansali at least knows ki he, like, Gangubai is his genre. Gangubai, all his movies are his genre, and I love that all his movies, you know, like all his movies have different music producers, but you feel like it's the same music producer.
Right. In a
Because-
good way.
हाँ, in a good way, as in कि जैसे खामोशी was Jatin Lalit, Hamdil was another music director.
Ismail Darbar.
हाँ, Ismail Darbar did for Devdas also.
हाँ.
Monty Sharma for Savaria, and then eventually like side hटाओ मैं खुद कर लूँगा. So he has been making music for his last 5 movies, which I find like a very good quality. Like Vishal Bhardwaj, like he knows his movies so well. They all like look good in the same way, because you watch a frame and it's a Sanjay Leela Bhansali film. Like you watch a frame of like an old director, Raj Kapoor film, it's a Raj Kapoor film by the frames. So his identity comes out really well in his movies.
Also, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, I take him as the kind of guy जो love story को देख के बोलता है, ये क्या है? एंड में दोनों शादी कर लेते, हैप्पी एंडिंग. छे, ये क्या मूवी है? हट. ये थोड़ी ना लव स्टोरी है. रोमियो जूलियट देखा है तुमने? दोनों प्यार के 5 दिन में ही पकड़ जाते, सुसाइड कर लेते. ये हुई ना बात. सो इन ऑल ऑफ हिज लव स्टोरीज ये कैसा उनका मैंने पैटर्न एक देख लिया. ठीक है, अट्रैक्टिव गर्ल मीट्स अट्रैक्टिव बॉय. दे बोथ ऑलमोस्ट फक अराउंड. ओके दे बोथ ऑलमोस्ट फक अराउंड. ठीक है, एंड द मोमेंट दे तब जब तक फक अराउंड कर रहे हैं तब तक सब सही है, तब तक किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. बट द मोमेंट दे डिसाइड टू गेट मैरिड, दैट इज व्हेन ऑल द प्रॉब्लम हैपेंस. सो आई फील लाइक ही इज रियली ट्राइंग टू प्रमोट द हुकअप कल्चर. इस तुम हुकअप करो ना, शादी क्यों करनी है? माँ बाप को क्यों इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हो?
Also, most of his films have love triangles. Now that I think about it, Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, this one, Bajirao.
Sometimes it's a rhombus also.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Which one is a rhombus?
तो कभी-कभी ऐसे 3-4 भी होते हैं. So I think I can't remember, but we'll take it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yes, guys, we do very basic fact check. We don't we don't go into the movie.
We also take jokes seriously.
Seriously, yes.
Okay.
So Devdas, 2002 Devdas. 2 hour 55-minute running time. Do you guys think his movie was a little too long? Because the old one, the Bimal Roy one, is 2 hours 46 minutes, and it starts from their childhood.
Without even showing the childhood, it's like
Childhood love में क्या दिखाते होंगे कि मैंने पेन चुराया, पेंसिल
हाँ, it's
चुराई.
exactly that.
It's
It starts
exactly
with a school scene.
like imagine
Urjita, I think you're an old soul. You have channeled Bimal Roy.
मैं भी बिमल रॉय. एक गुरुदत्त अपना बंटा
Which
था.
film is dedicated to Bimal Roy and Sarachandra Chattopadhyay. So 2 hour 55 minutes, and I have to say, the first hour of the film, I almost tuned out. I was like, "Nee, this has not aged well. It's very melodramatic. It's a little too over the top." Then in the second and third act, when Chandramukhi enters the film,
Yeah.
I really thought Madhuri Dixit was the saving grace of the film.
Yes.
But I want to talk about that first act. Was I the only one who was reminded of K serials while watching it, or did you guys also feel
that one character who keeps poking Devdas mom.
Komolika? मैंने उसको कोमोलिका ही बुला
Yeah,
दिया.
Bindi also same.
हाँ छोटू माँ, कैसा लग रहा है आपको?
She just repeats what Paro says, but in a dramatic tone.
Yeah.
कि उसने पानी मांगा.
So
देखा
her-
पानी मांग रही है आजकल.
देख रही हो छोटू माँ, इतने साल बाद आया, अपनी लवर से मिलने गया है. मैं होती तो कभी नहीं जाती.
Yeah, she just says it in a different tone.
ऐसे ही प्रेग्नेंट नहीं हुई हूँ मैं.
But I thought she was really good. Like she
Acting wise, no.
she did justice to what she was told to do.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And also I love how, like, very underrated fact, but like I love how कितना भी regressive हो देवदास और उसका घर, but at least their bahus were allowed to be arrogant.
Yeah.
And they were allowed to throw tantrums once in a while.
हाँ.
So I looked into this. So the co-writer of the film, Prakash Kapadia, used to actually write TV serials in Gujarati. So I guess
sense.
It shows because of that, and also it was 2002 when K serials were at their peak. So I think Sanjay Leela Bhansali was like, हाँ थोड़ा drama तो
But you can
होना
still
चाहिए.
adapt. Like Ship of Thesis का directed क्योंकि सास भी बहुत ही
That's
advanced
true,
है.
yes.
Yes, yes.
It's your choice.
Yeah.
If you wanna do the same thing.
वो मुझे काफी होप देता है. मैं जब भी रियलिटी शो लिखते हैं, I'm like कि हाँ आनंद गांधी ने भी तो लिखा था क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहुत ही.
Did you know Anand Gandhi once showed up at a comedy show at Hive? Yeah. I don't know why I need to give you guys this information, but he did.
He's a normal.
And then the host just kept making Ship of Thesis jokes.
Wow.
तो वो मतलब पहले 3-4 jokes पता ऐसा goodwill के लिए हंस दिया कि हाँ वो हा. And then you could see that he was visibly
And
pissed
after leaving, उसने invoice raise किया.
off for attending the show.
For attending.
So I thought first, in the first hour of the film, there isn't much of Devdas. Actually, you see him very sporadically. And I also want to talk about Kiran Kher. So I had this memory that Kiran Kher is amazing in this movie. But I'm sorry to say, when I watched it again, I just thought she was really overacting a lot and she was very hysterical. What do you guys think?
I feel Sanjay Leela Bhansali doesn't act in dialogues.
Okay.
Sanjay Leela Bhansali plays with sounds.
Okay.
So he's like कि if like how can I make this scene more vibrant? तो colors वो use करता है. He
Right.
uses art and he's like कि अगर ये इंसान गुस्सा है तो क्यों गुस्सा क्यों नहीं है? गुस्सा
हाँ.
क्यों है? गुस्सा क्यों नहीं है? And also I feel even I thought the same thing, but also I feel like जब भी वो मूवी देख रही थी वो मूवी में उसका एक्टिंग फिट हो रहा है. उधर वो इनफैक्ट आई रियली लव्ड किरण खेर इन द मूवी. आई एम लाइक डूड शी इज द ड्राइविंग फोर्स. शी इज द रीजन व्हाई एवरीथिंग इज हैपनिंग.
Right.
सो एंड आल्सो आई लव्ड किरण खेर बिकॉज इट्स नॉट लाइक वो ऐलान करके आई तो करके आई. वो घर
हाँ.
आने के बाद भी पारो को उसने और एक चांस दिया था. शी वाज लाइक कि अभी शाहरुख खान उसके घर में लड़ रहा है तेरे लिए. वो उनको पता था. देखते हैं वो तुझे लेने आता है कि नहीं. इफ ही आई एम गिविंग यू लास्ट चांस. अगर वो तुझे शी वाज अलाउइंग हर कि तू भाग के चली जा.
हाँ.
तो फिर भी वो नहीं आता उसको लेने. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई फील लाइक dude Kiran Kher is the best mom anyone could get. What kind of mom cheers at the prospect of a love marriage?
Like what kind of mom is a wing woman? Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
देख रहा देखो.
Yeah. Dude, more than Devdas's mom, this
Yeah.
woman was more excited about Devdas's like Deva aa raha hai, Deva aa raha hai.
She just needed a
Just-
Devdas mom just needed a reason to be angry कि उधर क्यों चली गई
हाँ, yeah.
and stuff.
And for a change, Kiran Kher was playing a Bengali mom, not a Punjabi mom. So that was.
But that
was
Punjabi
radical.
loud I think came.
That came through, yes. Two observations I made is that for dramatic effect, Sanjay Leela Bhansali used fans on set a lot because जब देखो सबके बाल उड़ ही रहे होते हैं and it hurts me a little more because I'm like my hair cannot flow. So I was
I read
like,
this very funny trivia कि
Why?
apparently for this movie they used so many generators कि मुंबई में उस टाइम generators की shortage हो गई थी और शादियों के सीजन में बहुत. This is on IMDb. I'm not making this up.
Yeah, I believe it because like I said, most expensive movie made at that time. So Sanjay Leela Bhansali was like,
So
yeah,
apparently
bring
उस टाइम पे
every
बोलते
generator.
2-3 जनरेटर यूज होते थे हर सेट पे. इसने 27 कुछ ऐसे किए.
Do you think Shahrukh Khan in his own way might have also made fun of this in between the scenes? वो पारो को देख के ए पारो तुमसे मैं कितना प्यार करता हूँ. देखो तुम्हारे लिए इस शहर के सारे
जनरेटर ले आए.
And then it just displays the name of the generator, whatever, crystal generator,
Crystal.
used by Devdas. And yeah, go ahead.
So I have this story. Do you guys know Sharvari Wagh? She's a Bollywood actress.
Okay.
She debuted in Bunty Bubbly 2.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
A movie I'm sure all of our viewers have seen. Yes.
Yeah. So but she's a Bollywood actress. That's all we need to know. And
Right.
she debuted with YRF, so I feel thoda uska hai.
Okay.
So she's not like.
Oh, was she paired with Siddhant
Siddhant
Chaturvedi?
Chaturvedi. Yes. So Sharvari Wagh was Sanjay Leela Bhansali's AD.
Oh, okay.
For Bajirao Mastani and like a couple of
Oh.
other movies. तो उसने उसकी स्टोरी आई हैव वर्कड विथ हर एंड तभी उसने उसकी स्टोरी बोली थी कि जब भी मैं एडी होती थी तो एज एन एडी व्हाट डज अ संजय लीला भंसालीज एडी डू. उसका बस काम ये होता था कि घोड़ों को लगाना है लाइन से, दिए जलाने हैं और उसको बस एक ही एडवाइस मिलती थी कि घोड़ों को आगे से लगाना, पीछे जाएगा तो घोड़ा लात मारेगा. That's all she remembers from Sanjay Leela Bhansali's set.
But makes sense looking at his
Yeah,
sets.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's a controlling person. वो ऐसे काम दे देता होगा कि हाँ चलो
हाँ.
मैं ही करूँगा सब.
Second observation I made was again because this is a Bengali sort of this thing culture. The fact that they keep looking at each other from binoculars, I think might be a homage to Satyajit Ray's Charulata, which
Possible.
included Sharmila Tagore looking at the other house with the doorbin.
Mhm.
But what do you think, or what did you feel about the whole? I loved Paro's house. Like there was this very unique purple green type of जो उसका कांच से बना हुआ घर है. I thought it was more opulent than Devdas's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, for someone who's garib.
And also I love how it's like Sanjay Leela Bhansali might have realized that at some point in the movie कि इसका घर भी बढ़िया ही लग रहा है. So then he was like, तो कब कैसे दिखाए कि ये भी गरीब है? So then they showed the bed cracking, जिस पे किरण खेर सोई थी. So he's like, yeah, bed टूटे, गरीब है, guys, relax boys, ये सब गरीब है. Relax boys. So I want to share one observation, okay? So I don't know what it is, but there's this Bollywood has this strange obsession with showing attraction and lust by the way of broken mirrors. तो ये मूवी में भी चंद्रमुखी's introduction is that कि वो देवदास उसको पीछे से वो देखती है मिरर में, and then the moment she turns उसके बालों से वो मिरर टूट जाता है. पहली बात तो ये कौन से केश काला लगा रही है, इतने ज़्यादा घने और मजबूत कैसे बाल. तो ये देवदास में एक हुआ था. I just wanted to ask, I've already told Abbas about this. So I just
off air where Pulkit was not late at all.
Yeah.
We got this conversation.
Oh, wow. So Pulkit, I just wanted to ask you कि तुमने ऐसा और कहाँ पे होते हुए देखा है? In which Bollywood movie?
Dude, not Bal, but there's Badshah.
Yes.
अखरोट से शीशा तोड़ता है.
Yes, अखरोट से. There's one more.
क्योंकि तो प्यार हो जाएगा अखरोट से
Yes,
टूटा.
there's one more movie.
ये मैंने भी नहीं guess की थी. The second one.
Too much
It's
pressure.
very like a small scene in a funny movie only, and that scene has Kiran Kher by the way in it. Kiran Kher is the object of attraction
Is
in
it
that scene.
दोस्ताना?
No.
अच्छा नहीं.
This is Singh is King. Remember that scene where Kiran Kher is standing? उसका वो पहला वो नया अवतार बनाते हैं, वो beautiful and all with curls, and then Manoj Pawar looks at her, is like है अमीर होने के बाद इंसान क्या खूबसूरत बन जाता है, and then his friend से सब ऐसे मत घूर, शीशा टूट जाएगा, और शीशा टूट जाता है.
Oh.
Why do you think
So-
that is? What could be the symbolism there?
I feel like it is maybe they're trying to pay homage to the song शीशा हो या दिल हो आखिर
टूट
टूट ही
जाता
जाता
है.
है.
Yeah.
So the cinephile in me thinks.
Yes, that's what you're here for, Pulkit. Bring out your inner cinephile.
Cinephile in me is still thinking about it.
No, so
think
I'll give you.
When you fall in love,
Hmm.
everything that you know about yourself, it changes. And that is why the mirror breaks. Because you're like, ये जो मैं जिससे मैं कल तक पहचानता था, अभी वो है ही नहीं. I think, and you explore a new side of you. That is beyond the mirror. And that is why the mirror has to break. Because you're exploring way more about you than you would have expected. I think maybe that's why.
Can I give another artsy fartsy reason?
Yeah.
One is that when you fall in love, or when you, like you said, when you're feeling lustful towards someone else, you मतलब आप अपनी खुद की नजरों से थोड़ा गिर जाते हो, इसलिए you don't want to look yourself in the eyes.
Oh,
That's why the thing breaks. Or the other reason could be that once a mirror breaks, it makes plenty of smaller mirrors.
Oh, nice.
So you see different facets of your own self once you fall in
Beautiful.
love.
चलो अब
Thank you guys. This is the
overthink कर ही रहे
beat
तो.
that, Pulkit. What does the cinephile in you
So-
say?
This is a very beautiful, yeah. I feel like I'll take time to get over it.
I think till the time you're not in love,
Mhm.
you need to look at yourself to feel the self-love. But then you finally find someone who looks at you even more lovingly, so you don't need to look at yourself now.
Oh.
That's very beautifully put.
क्या बात है. क्या बात
सब
है.
बस ज्ञान जो फालतू में.
But then does that mean you should stop self-love when you find someone who loves you?
No, you look into their eyes.
Oh, right.
that.
Because अब क्या जरूरत?
अब तो
आईने
24
की.
घंटे सामने देखते रहेंगे.
बहुत सही.
Yeah. वही बता देता है तुमको कि तुम्हारे बाल ठीक नहीं लग रहे, आज बड़ी संजय दत्त लग रही हो.
Okay, cool. On that note, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about some other facets of the film, and we'll try and answer the question: was Devdas really an asshole? On the other side of this break.
I have a very funny story. Can I say it? Hi, I'm Shweta. I'm Navya's mother.
Hi, I'm Shweta. I'm Navya's mother.
I am Navya's nanny. My name is Jaya Bachchan.
I got nothing over here, guys.
It's a big day for me. Okay, start. What the hell?
I was saying something very nice and empowering and you just interrupted me.
Don't complain. Don't explain. Never explain.
Let me say it.
I have my little secrets. Hello, madam. How are you? I got your number. I told you don't get me started. Mom. When you want to do Money pinching, you're also very good. I've seen you. I've noticed. I finished these many books. You're still on your first book. I finished so many books. I'm like, what the hell?
Leave me alone.
Definition of love has changed today. I'm too old for all this. Navya, there's a wonderful lake. Go and jump into
And
it.
drown
and
in
drown.
it. And she does.
Oh my God! Stop!
What are you saying?
What the hell? It's important to have friends.
My best friends have been Navya and Shweta.
Aww. I have a problem saying no.
You better learn. It's the
the
best,
best word.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Okay.
What the hell?
What the hell, Navya? You're saying this podcast is called What the Hell, Navya? I have at least 3 What the Hell, Navya episodes in a day.
And we're back on Has It Aged Well? We're talking about Devdas. With me is Urjita and Pulkit. Urjita, you had a point you wanted to make.
So I know that we have already established that Devdas is an asshole.
We
हमने
have?
starting में yeah we had
Okay.
already that is how we started.
Right.
Like कि आसमा का कलर कैसा देवदास क्या हरामी इंसान.
Yeah,
That is literally how we started this episode. But I would also like to give credit to him for all the moments in which he actually made us feel like he's in love. Like for instance, the introduction scene where he's trying to demean Paro कि अरे तुम्हें अंग्रेजी नहीं आती, तुम्हें ये नहीं आती, वो नहीं
गंवार.
आती.
he calls Gawar.
गवार वगैरह. And we feel कि क्या हरामी बंदा है. And then Paro gives it back to him in her way. तुम्हें पता है इतने मैंने तुम्हें कितने दिन मिस किया है. एंड देन वो एग्जैक्ट नंबर ऑफ डेज बोलती है. पता है इस दिन में कितने मिनट्स होते हैं. एंड देन ही प्रिटेंड्स टू कैलकुलेट ऑल्सो. बट देन सच ब्यूटी शाहरुख खान हैज कि उसकी हम शक्ल पे देख रहे हैं वो कैलकुलेट करने को प्रिटेंड कर रहा है. और उसकी आंखों में वी कैन सी कि ओ माय गॉड शी स्टिल लव्स मी सो मच. इवन ही इज इन डिसबिलीफ कि ये मुझसे अभी भी इतना प्यार कैसे करती है. सो समवेयर आई फील ही वाज सेल्फ अवेयर दैट आई एम नॉट डिजर्विंग ऑफ दिस लव. एंड दैट इज व्हाई आई फील ही यू नो हाउ it happens. I've seen that happen with a lot of people also, that if you feel you are not good enough for something good that is happening to you, you end up sabotaging it yourself.
Oh yeah.
And people do it the most with relationships and and friendships. So that's why I feel like, you know, it is basically, even though it feels like it is Dev's journey,
Right.
but also on the other hand it also feels like it is the woman's journey. You know, आजकल ट्विटर पे हम देख रहे हैं कि काफ़ी लड़कियां बोलते हैं कि मुझे टॉक्सिक लड़के बहुत पसंद है. संजय लीला भंसाली मेड देवदास जस्ट टू टेल देम टॉक्सिक लड़के से प्यार करोगे देखो ऐसा होगा. So be it चंद्रमुखी और पारो, टॉक्सिक लड़के से प्यार करना is never the answer. You cannot fix him.
Yeah, nobody could.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I 100% agree with that. I mean, why is it necessary for us to see... I mean, why does he have to be such an arrogant prick to someone who loves him so much? I mean, I mean, in the first couple of scenes when he's being such a dick to her, I'm like, why? I get it. This is a point I also made, that the novel was written in 1917. So a lot of the things that have not aged well might not be the fault of the movie, but just the text that he was
Yeah.
adapting. So I get that at that time women didn't have as much agency to be like, if he's being a dick to me, I will
Also,
walk
they've-
out.
Also, they've set this in that time.
Yeah, in 1930s, I believe the film is set
Yeah,
in.
because they
Yeah.
still say Angrezi Sarkar
Exactly,
and
yes.
stuff.
By the way, I also like the fact that it's set in pre-independent India, but we don't see a single white person. Because वो एक trend बन गया था उस time पे, भगत सिंह, लगान,
Yeah.
all these films where you had to show a white person speaking in Hindi. But coming back to my point, like you mentioned, Urjita, you said your dad was telling that in the Bimal Roy version, you see Dilip Kumar's portrayal of Devdas as a mild-mannered lover,
Yeah.
rather than this
This
version.
arrogant
And you
lover.
had a theory why that was. Would you like to share that with us?
So I feel ये मैंने ना काफ़ी मूवीज़ में भी नोटिस किया था कि जो एक्चुअल हीरो है ना, उसके पर्सोना के बेसिस पे वो कैरेक्टर को ट्वीक करते थे. लाइक इफ इट इज़ ऋतिक रोशन तो फिर वो बंदा थोड़ा कैरिज्मेटिक होगा, जोक्स वोक्स मारता है, डांस तो हर जगह करता है नहाते हुए भी. एंड बिकॉज शाहरुख खान, you see, I'm not calling him arrogant, but I'm just noticing a pattern that वो टाइम पे, early 2000s के टाइम पे, शाहरुख खान was playing the arrogant lover in every damn movie. even if the script didn't call for it. जोश में भी उसकी जरूरत नहीं थी, फिर भी arrogant बन
Have you
रहा है.
seen हम तुम्हारे सनम?
Yeah, oh my god.
It's
Oh
the
my
extreme version of Devdas.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe the character was tweaked for Shahrukh. कि मतलब Shahrukh, I'm not saying Shahrukh Khan is arrogant as a person. I'm saying maybe because
That
he
was
can.
his screen image.
That was his screen image. He can
Even
pull
Don.
off. Yeah, he can pull off arrogant roles very easily. So that's why I think maybe the character was tweaked.
I think he looks charming as arrogant also.
Yeah.
Like nobody would look as charming while saying Gawar.
Spoke like a true Paro man.
I was just about to say, if it worked on Pulkit,
I
then
am
I kind of
Paro.
see why it worked on Paro as
Yeah.
well.
I can fix
Yeah.
Shahrukh.
You
Yeah.
I have a very fun trivia. Basically, there's a cameo of Salman Khan
In Devdas?
in Devdas.
What? Where?
Let me guess.
Yeah, let's guess. Guess.
Is it in the early part of the film?
No. Do you know?
Okay. Okay. Abhay sir, our videographer, says he knows what the cameo is. No, I can't come up with
It's very
anything.
fascinating. It's not his face though.
It's his voice.
No. So, any guesses?
Is it the scene where Shahrukh Khan beats her? So you're like, "Arey,
No, that was behind the scenes, which they never released.
Acha,
Oh, okay.
No, but Salman Khan used to be on sets full time
Okay.
because one, he was very upset that Sanjay Bhansali didn't take him in Devdas.
Mhm.
Like, even though he took him in the last two
Yeah,
movies,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
supported him after Khamoshi when nobody supported. Khamoshi flopped and all.
Right, right.
So he still agreed for the next movie.
Yeah.
So he was very angry. He was on set, plus their relationship
Mm.
was going on.
Yeah.
So
Ash and Salman, not
Yeah.
Sanjay
Yeah,
Leela.
yeah.
Salman.
that we don't know. But
अच्छा, काफी ज्यादा politically correct खेल रहा है पुलकित भाई. ऐश्वर्या और सलमान का लफड़ा चल रहा था, ऐसा पुलकित बोल रहे हैं.
some
Yeah.
e-lafda. So
Yeah.
basically, there's a scene जब उसके पैर पे कांटा चुभ जाता है,
Paro के.
पैरों के पैर पे, and Salman Khan
Oh, yeah.
insisted कि I will do it. So the hand you see in that shot is of Salman Khan.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. This because like ये मैं करूँगा.
He
Like
became Shah Rukh's hand double.
yeah. So he's like,
okay.
you didn't take me in Devdas, but let me do this.
Wow, amazing trivia. That is really insightful.
Wow.
So there's this quote that Sanjay Leela Bhansali gave in an interview. So Bhansali described the novel's main character named Devdas as the paradox of a man who was like a child, utterly lovable, believing that it exists in every male, especially every Indian male. But I didn't feel Devdas coming across as a lovable character in the movie. I was quite detested by him actually, even especially in the early
Yeah.
scenes of the movie.
I think we are not the target audience for it. Maybe I think maybe the reason why the movie worked is because people might have found this character lovable.
Also, the idea that, you know, for love you have to bear the pain and stuff.
Yeah.
That old idea, I think, worked. It's also 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When, we were.
Wow,
I-
thanks
I-
Pulkit.
I just
इनके time पे
I mean, today we still, but today also, like, movies work with pain.
I mean, yeah, I see, and I feel like जो भी हो, वो टाइम का हो, 100 साल पुराना हो, कैसा भी हो, आई फील लाइक वो जो पूरा पार्ट था ना जिसमें देवदास वो उसको लेटर वेटर लिखता है और फिर घर से चला जाता है, वो पार्ट आई फील उन्होंने ऐसे ही करके उसको बना दिया है. आई फील लाइक ही नीडेड अ स्ट्रॉन्गर रीजन टू लीव द हाउस. मेरा ये बोलना है कि अगर तुम घर वालों से तमाशा करके निकल रहे हो तो एटलीस्ट अपनी आइटम को लेके जाओ. तुम उसको भी ब्रेकअप कर रहे हो, ये भी. सो बेसिकली तू चाहता क्या है देवदास? सो दैट वाज वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग टू मी.
अच्छे बेड पे तो सो भाई, अगर ब्रेकअप हो गया
हाँ भाई.
So they have these little flashes of a flashback where it is insinuated that they've had an abusive childhood because you can see his dad
तो.
hitting him with a cane. And also, again, I'm assuming this, that the age difference between Devdas and his brothers is quite a lot. So I assume that Devdas was like an unplanned child who they did not want. So it's the reverse. कहते हैं कि सबसे छोटे बच्चे को सबसे ज़्यादा लाड मिलता है. Here it was the other way around. कि सबसे छोटा बच्चा was the most ignored.
Yeah.
Again, these are all cinephile thoughts, guys.
Also, like, Sanjay Bhansali movies at that point had a arc where the lead actor had a very bad relationship with their father. Even Salman in Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, he, like, his dad is dead, but he still
Correct.
looks at the
Keeps
sky
talking to him,
and
yeah.
talks to him and abuses him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he just continued that. And
Yeah.
you know, like some tropes are very Bhansali tropes. Like Dola Re Dola eventually again came in Pinga. So he keeps,
Yeah.
he knows what works for him.
Right.
Yeah, Sanjay Leela Bhansali was the first guy to introduce men having daddy issues.
Oh, yes.
That's
Hmm.
yeah.
I have a question. Did you guys like Aishwarya's portrayal of Paro in this? Do you think she's good in this film?
Yeah. I
Yeah?
think she was good, but the thing is because Madhuri Dixit भी comparison के लिए थी.
Yes.
माधुरी दीक्षित का बैक स्टोरी इतना ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग था.
Also, Madhuri
And-
seems effortless when she's doing.
Effortless.
I think
Uh,
Aishwarya
yeah.
looked the
Chandramukhi.
part better, I think.
Okay.
Looked the part, but also I feel Madhuri Dixit had way more agency than Aishwarya. So like I also Aishwarya से मुझे याद आया. I really like that one additional detail कि जब भी वो उसको मारता है. That, by the way, that scene is very problematic.
Yes.
Also, we have already addressed that. But वो पहले 2-3 बार मैंने वो सीन देखा. मैंने बोला ये क्यों डाला है. And then I realized कि वो exactly सिंदूर से थोड़ा नीचे है वो, just to show, maybe just to show कि like almost उसकी बीवी है but नहीं है. So because वो भी वो सिंदूर वाले position में वो लगता है.
And I don't know, later on, when Devdas gets hurt, that wound becomes fresh again.
Yeah.
It's like Voldemort Harry Potter type situation.
Yeah.
कि वो जब कुछ होता है तो his scar burns.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Hot
Harry
bricks.
Potter also came out in 2001.
Mm.
I don't know.
Could it be that J.K. Rowling?
But do you think, like, also
Hmm.
जितने साल होते रहते हैं ऐसी मूवी को, people keep deciphering, and sometimes ऐसा होता है कि डायरेक्टर ने नहीं सोची होती है.
हाँ, of course.
वो
Yes.
तो है. वो तो है.
मैंने तो
Of
ऐसे
course है.
जैसे I have this fun thing. Basically इम्तियाज अली को कोई पूछ रहा था कि sorry I'm digressing, but
That's okay.
कोई कि तमाशा में there's a song अगर तुम साथ हो, where Arijit sings on 2 scales if you listen. तेरे नजरों में है, and one is on other. They put it together. Like A.R. Rahman put it together. So someone asked Imtiaz कि is it because he's having a dual personality? कभी वो गुस्सा हो जाता है रणबीर, कभी वो. इम्तियाज बोलते नहीं, रहमान को अच्छा लगा कुछ नहीं. 2 बार गवाया उससे और उसको दोनों पसंद है तो बोलता है साथ में डाल के दे.
But also this is some psychological law also, that if 8 out of 10 things work, then you also
Yeah.
assume that the other 2 things that don't work, they also
That's
might
work,
have some
yeah,
meaning.
yeah.
So it could be that.
But it's with some movies it's more like the Tamasha to is like the most
हाँ.
discussed film in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk about the second. You have a point, Urjita?
No, but you
Okay.
talk about.
I want to go to the second half of the film where Dev actually goes to the kotha. Firstly, I've never seen such a opulent and amazing kotha, but I get it. Like, this is another thing I want to talk about is Sanjay Leela Bhansali films always seem to be not rooted in our reality. They are always in a different reality almost, which is what Savaria was criticized for. So I get the fact that he's trying to say that this is like the place where the broken-hearted come to find solace. So in their vision, this is like the most amazing palace-like place ever. So he goes to this amazing kotha. He's taken there by Chunni Lal, who we are told is his friend from London, played by Jackie Shroff. I did not know this, but Jackie Shroff is billed as a special appearance.
Oh.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think of Chunni, who famously speaks in
Rhymes.
not even rhymes, but he tells what alphabet everything starts with.
He is the हमारी चुन्नी पे हरा रंग डाला.
And everybody made the ch se chutiya wala joke till this day, from that time.
Yeah. Did you also know that Anurag Kashyap and his company First the Phantom was inspired by
And Anurag
Chunni
Kashyap
Lal?
also made Devdas as Dave D.
Yeah,
It all makes sense now.
yeah. All makes sense.
Thoughts on
But,
Chunni Lal? Any takes on Chunni Lal?
So the
So say.
So very Thursday thoughts. He looked like a fun character. I mean, even as a cameo, I think. And you know, like I also, because I read this, I read a lot of trivias.
of course.
It was first offered to Govinda because it was his declining phase, but he refused because he wants to be hero, which is same in 2022.
Yeah.
And but he declined, and he regrets. But now I imagine how different would it
would have
be
been,
with
yeah.
Govinda?
At least the movie would have been slightly funnier, I think, if Govinda was.
Yeah,
Chunni.
he would improvise
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah, Jackie Shroff, I feel he's funny only when he says कि ये झाड़ लगाना oxygen देता है भिड़ू. I feel like instead of like Babu Babu, he could have replaced Babu with भिड़ू. No movie और ज़्यादा super hit होती. Jackie Shroff, I feel he worked because see, Jackie Shroff, he was never supposed to hog the limelight. He was supposed to be the sane voice around Devdas at that time. Who also, if you notice,
Really? Because I think he directs him to all the wrong things. He gets him addicted to alcohol,
Yeah,
takes him to a kota,
Hmm.
and fast forward towards the last scenes where he's told not to drink alcohol at all. He meets Chunni Lal and is like, "Ek aakhri jam ho jaye," which leads him to his death. So isn't Chunni like that one friend who is always a bad influence on you?
maybe.
wow.
Did I change your opinion about this?
Now I'm like, am I the Devdas in my life?
Yeah.
Do I need to get rid
Am
of
I
all
the
the
Chunni Lal? Am I the Chunni Lal in my life?
हाँ no, but like see, he at least he pretends to अरे नहीं दे बाबू ये मत करो तो मतलब थोड़ा वो ऐसे तुम क्यों पारो की याद में इतना रो रहे हो? Just why cry over one girl when you can cry over two girls? So
I want to talk about Madhuri Dixit's character, but before that, do we want to talk about Milind Gunaji and that little subplot of his
of him being a molester.
of him being very, very creepy guy with a with a literal fetish, because there's that one scene where he has to
I can never forget that scene where I mean, what a great way to show somebody is a molester. कि मतलब, do you remember that scene where Paro के वो पैर छूता है and instead of stopping here, he just does this. I know.
It's quite.
I mean, I really like that scene. I mean, of course. I'm
again
not
for
a
audio
molester.
listeners.
I'm not a molester.
Urjita very creepily spread her hands over the table.
Yeah. पुलकित ने 2 extra jacket पहन ली अभी. तो I really like that scene because वो तब का टाइम था जब भी molester को दिखाने के लिए elaborate sequences दिखाते थे कि वो उसको हीरोइन को पकड़ रहा है, उसके कपड़े फाड़ रहा है. But just in that one scene, the Sanjay Leela Bhansali creeped out the whole theater.
Yeah, true.
So I really like that.
Even though you've never seen it in a theater.
I was like, when did this movie come out?
2002.
2002. मैंने theater में देखी, मैं छोटी
Really?
थी तभी.
Oh.
अब मैं कितनी? 2000 मैं तभी 4 साल की थी.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
Too much for a 4-year-old.
did it not get an A certificate?
कौन ही देखता है इधर?
मेरी मम्मी बोलती है छोटा बच्चा है जाने दो तो
उसका हाफ टिकट ले लो उल्टा.
हाँ, ये गोदी में बैठेगी.
उल्टा हम बेनिफिट्स लेते हैं.
Yeah.
बच्चे को ले जाते हैं. इसकी क्या ही गोदी में बैठेगी तो.
Yeah, but what do you think about the Milind Gunaji sequence? Do you have something to say?
I think, I mean, so again, it comes back to that whole K-serial wala treatment, right? Where he's planted almost because later on he has to do chugli, Paro's chugli. Of course, this is happening, we didn't mention this, but Paro gets married to another Zamindar's family, and she's the second wife of the Zamindar. So I liked the fact that when Paro's character gets married, you see her get more agency of her character, because she's so head over heels in love with Dev that you've always seen her as this subservient character.
Yeah.
But once she gets married, she takes charge of the house, right?
Yeah.
And I also like the fact that the husband, even though it's his second wife, and he says कि मैं तुम्हें उतना प्यार कभी नहीं कर पाऊंगा जितना मैं अपनी पहली बीवी को करता था.
He's indirectly
passed
saying I
away.
won't be able to have sex with you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah,
seen Paro
essentially.
says, "Hey, जान बची भाई." So that was really important.
क्योंकि अजय देवगन नाम दिल.
It's the
Ajay Devgan in Humble is the guy who pretends to be woke.
Yeah.
Bhansali Cinematic Universe, BCU.
Now we talk in this.
Walk in the streets, choke me in the sheets.
Wow. Okay. So, with watching all this, like, I would have liked to know more about that aspect of Paro's character, which made me realize if ever Bhansali is given the opportunity to remake Devdas as like a 6-part mini series on a streaming platform with the same budget, with the same sort of opulence, it will be really that I would like to see, because I think Bhansali's films as it is are like really long, and if he's given that reign to make 6 hours worth
He's making a series for Netflix.
Oh, really?
Which is, so he made sets for Gangubai, बोला यहाँ एक और बन So he's actually, because it's based around the same area and stories of that area.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see how he does short stories without.
Yeah. Which brings me to one of the last things I want to talk about is the choice that Sanjay Leela Bhansali made to have Paro and Chandramukhi's character meet. because this is not in the original novel,
Oh.
neither is it in the film version. So this, as far as I know, was a very was a Bhansali decision. And that scene where Paro and Chandramukhi met was awarded the best scene of the year at the Filmfare
Oh
Awards.
wow.
I think वो एक गाना एक्स्ट्रा बन गया था.
हाँ वो they shot Dola Re Dola and then they had to justify them meeting
Yeah.
together.
अरे मिलाना तो भूल ही गए.
But
Milana tum. I feel like it was also important because it's like Paro is trying to claim is trying to claim Devdas, but also like she doesn't have like full agency over him also because उसने खुद ने उसको reject करके वो चला गया था. So
right.
Chandramukhi also knew that. So she was, but also at the same time Chandramukhi thought of Paro as the woman. No, sorry, Chandramukhi didn't know that. Ki Devdas first broke up with her. She kept thinking that Paro left him. So that's why Chandramukhi, because she had heard so much about Paro through Devdas. So that's why she was in awe of Paro, and she was like, now I see what he sees in you.
I like that scene. I think that scene starts, both of them are the other woman to each other.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the scene, they both, in a weird way, acknowledge each other. And there's also the fact that we both felt for the same asshole.
Yeah.
And he, in a way, belongs to neither of us. So there is that
Yeah.
cordial feeling among the
Trauma
two of them.
bonding.
Trauma bonding. Yes, that's
I think the song Dola Re Dola was supposed to be like a song that made fun of Shahrukh क्योंकि उसके muscles नहीं थे तभी.
ouch. Okay.
मैंने माइक पे थूक दिया. Sorry.
It's okay, यार.
This is
Vaccinated
the
हो
best,
ना?
This is the best feedback I have ever received. मैंने mic पे थूक दिया.
That's all I want. I mean, and then of course, Dave falls ill, and the last few scenes we see of him are pretty tragic. They even give Shahrukh that really bad makeup where they don't ask him to shave for 3 days, and his stubble grows.
Don't do makeup today.
Yeah. And then he dies outside of Paro's Haveli in a very, very scenic red-colored tree. And anything you want to say about those scenes? By this time, I was just looking at the running time and I'm like, yeah, just speed it.
I want to know about Paro. I feel like Paro is the ultimate loser in the whole story.
Okay.
Because like वो देव को attitude दिखाने के चक्कर में बुड्ढे से शादी तो कर ली उसने. Now she has to take care of these 3 kids, be in a sexless marriage. And
No,
so
but
what?
she makes friends with all the 3 kids. It's not that's the thing I like. They don't portray them as this typical step family where
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then like ultimately what is her life now? Because even though वो कैसे temporary उसने दिखाने के लिए शादी की थी ना, but like what about after? Like
she
the
lives as a
after?
Thakurain.
Yeah, मतलब agency in her heart she's still the timid Paro, no, जिसको बस प्यार चाहिए. I'm saying तुम agency के लिए ठकुराइन बन के घूमोगी, but प्यार के लिए तुम क्या करोगी? So I feel like if you talk about the Paro's life after that, I feel she might find love in the form of some other guy after like 10 years or so along the line, because she's a lover. You can't take the love out of a lover. तो आई फील लाइक a few years down the line maybe उसके घर में किसी लड़के को, यंग लड़के को वो हायर करेंगे टू टेक केयर ऑफ द किड्स और समथिंग, और टेक केयर ऑफ हर एलिंग हस्बैंड, क्योंकि तब तक बुढ़ा हो गया होगा ना. तो एंड शी माइट फॉल इन लव विद दैट गाय.
इस बार भाग लेगी.
Are we pitching a sequel to Devdas? Are we pitching Devdas
I
to
don't know, I'm just
Paro's
thinking,
Revenge?
I'm just thinking about Paro because Paro as a character. हम so writing में भी डिस्कस करते हैं ना कि अगर ये ऐसा कैरेक्टर है, इसका कैरेक्टर स्केच ऐसा है, तो फिर ये आगे आगे और क्या कर सकता है. So I feel like if Paro has to fall in love with someone, it's not going to be with her husband,
Right.
because this is not the हम दिल दे चुके इसे नमे वाली
Right.
Paro.
Yeah.
So I feel like वो ऐसे किसी बंदे से प्यार में पड़ेगी. Somebody who's innocent, somebody who has everything that Devdas didn't. And also somebody who reminds her of this. So like once in a वो आएगा वो बंदा help करने के लिए, the caretaker. तो initially वो अच्छे से behave करेगा, पर एक बार उसको मारेगा नहीं. Oh yeah, damn. Now I love him. So I feel. Do you have any such theories? कि what about the life of these characters after the movie ends? कि maybe Chandramukhi और Chunni Lal.
So when you, it's very interesting when you pointed out कि 3 बच्चों का ख्याल रखना है और ये सब. It also made me think कि you know, maybe this is a problematic part. This is where it hasn't aged well. Ki they didn't leave her happy also.
Yeah.
They're like, तुझे सजा मिली इस चीज की.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like ऐ दिल है मुश्किल कि भाई तुझे कैंसर हो गया क्योंकि तू रणबीर को प्यार नहीं कर पाई.
This is, by the way, for those of you who don't know.
Spoiler alert for Ae Dil Hai Mushkil.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
good enough. That movie aged the moment it came out.
It just aged,
yeah.
not
से
well.
फ्राइडे 10 बजे का शो 12 बजे एज हो गई 2 घंटे में.
करण जोहर ने एक इंटरव्यू में बोला था कि अनुष्का शर्मा
Yeah.
द इंटरव्यूअर आस्क्ड हिम कि अनुष्का शर्मा को कैंसर क्यों होता है. ही इज लाइक या इट्स पनिशमेंट बिकॉज़ वो प्यार नहीं करती रणवीर कपूर
Yeah,
से.
yeah, yeah.
So
So I
Like
think
it's
a
not
very-
even subtext, it is text.
it is text.
Yes.
Yeah, he
okay.
said it in the interview.
उसने सब टेक्स्ट बोल दिया. सीधा. But yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, so that's why I think it hasn't aged well in that way. Like even though they kill, like make Shahrukh die and all, ki he was a jerk shuru se aisa waisa, but they didn't give a happy ending to Paro
Paro
also,
either,
which is quite
yeah.
sad.
But what could have been the happy ending?
Maybe like a guy who really likes, like, you know, it can be the हम दिल दे चुक, but it again वो same film बन जाती है. But अगर वो हम दिल ना बनाता, let's assume, तो I think she can get a loving husband also. And
I
like,
think
you know,
the happy ending could have been just Paro and Chandramukhi both joining Twitter and Instagram and following feminist pages.
yeah,
And them
learning.
realizing कि oh ये बंदा toxic था, अच्छा हुआ. Or
What
maybe
was the-
Devdas going to therapy.
What was the ending
Yeah.
of Devdi? I don't remember. Does he get back together with Mahi Gill's character?
No,
who's
I'm
supposed-
not. I'm sure they don't do that.
No. माही गिल तो शादीशुदा हो जाती है ना in fact.
So I read it in अनुराग कश्यप's interview कि इसके पहले जितने भी देवदास के interpretations थे देवडी से पहले, they were very glorifying the main character. They were, but they so he's like, I wanted to show Devdas as a loser. So I think Devdi is very different in that way.
Yeah.
Like उसको मुझे भी अब देवडी याद नहीं है.
I mean, to be honest, this is not an episode about
ये
Devdi.
एपिसोड देखने वाले बोलेंगे कि पुलकित जी ने ये टाइम पे पॉज लिया था क्योंकि वो अपनी स्टोरी से इंस्पायर्ड थे. बट नहीं, पुलकित भैया ने पॉज लिया था क्योंकि वो भूल गए थे. पुलकित, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर देवडी का हैंड क्या था वो. नहीं, कुछ तो नहीं मिलते दोनों.
But it
औरतें
is
मिलती
a
हैं.
happy ending. I remember it's not a sad ending.
I think it's a happy ending for Paro because
Yeah.
शुरू में she's not accepted in the society or something. Oh, that's Chandramukhi na.
Yeah. Paro ka I remember. Paro, Devdi. I just remember that one scene where Paro comes back in Devdi and वो उससे मिलती है. And you might think that वो बोलेगी कि तुम कहाँ चले गए ये वो, but she's like कि मेरा husband तेरे से better sex करता है. So that
Burn.
is like.
So इसमें at least she's getting sex.
Yeah.
That's
At least
So-
Kashyap had that sorted. Like, I'm not gonna leave Paro sexless.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what.
The movie was a huge success. It was the highest grossing film of that year. Won 11 Filmfare Awards, including Best Movie, Best Director, Best Supporting Actress, Best Actor. Which brings me to the question. Did SRK go a little too overboard playing Devdas? There's that scene on the bridge where it's like he's gone full SRK. Is this the thing that people often parody when they parody SRK?
That's true. I mean, it's
But that works for you.
no. That, but no, I'm agreeing with the part ki that's why he's parodied scenes like this
Right.
and Dar where he.
Yeah, but also like defending him, I would like to say that the reason why parodies exist is because at some point everybody loved that scene. Nobody randomly parodies a bad scene because
Yeah.
bad scenes are not even remembered.
Yeah, it's it's like it's repeated so many times. Eventually, they
Yeah,
start mimicking
exactly. And also like we also find that melodramatic now because हमने उसकी parodies इतनी देख ली है.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's why. But otherwise,
it's
if
the
you
same with Kiran. It was a scary scene in Dar.
yeah,
But now it's comical.
yeah, now it's comical.
Sanjay Bhansali has said that he'll only cast Shahrukh again if he ever remakes the film because he's so in love with Shahrukh's portrayal of Devdas. So that's how much he loved his own creation.
I just want to say और भी stories है भाई.
Yeah,
एक ही
I
चीज
mean
का
we
कितना
all
remake
we
करेगा.
also saw what happened with Love Aajkal when
Yeah.
Imtiaz remade Love Aajkal.
Imtiaz fell in love, which is तमाशा को हाथ भी नहीं लगा रहा है.
We should call Pulkit for an Imtiaz movie.
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
we should.
Please.
Yeah. Another thing I found interesting is in 2002 when the film was about to release, there was a Devdas Film Festival in Hyderabad where they played 5 versions of Devdas, different adaptations back to back, and ended with the Shahrukh Khan
Oh.
Sanjay Leela Bhansali version. It is film. If you go on the Wikipedia page of Devdas, there's like a whole legacy section where it just lists out all the places where it has been counted as one of the best films of the millennium, and BBC and Guardian have named it as one of the best Indian films of all time. Who did you guys think was the best performance of the movie?
Kiran Kher.
Really?
Okay, not the best movie.
I
but
think
No, I mean, you can-
Chandramukhi.
You can
Madhuri,
stick
हाँ.
with it.
Yeah.
Same for me.
Yeah.
Madhuri.
Favorite scene? One that sticks out to you?
The introduction, वो वाला Devdas and Paro का introduction, where Paro is actually gnawing him all the hours that she has missed him, and Devdas is like just in awe. वो वाला scene I really like.
I think the end for me also.
The Shahrukh dying
Shahrukh
bit?
dying.
कि मर जा कुत्ते.
I don't know, for whatever reason, I had this memory that he dies in Paro's arms, but that's not the case.
Yeah, she
the
reaches
gate is
late.
literally shut on her face.
A friend of mine said the same thing. Is this
Yeah.
like a Mandela
Was
effect?
there another alternate
Alternate
cut?
ending, like
Yeah.
they changed it.
Yeah.
No, but ending also because it's beautifully shot and all.
Mhm.
I think मैं कुछ बोलने जा रहा था. I think. No, you can continue.
पुलकित भाई ये टाइम पे पॉज ले रहे हैं क्योंकि वो सोच रहे हैं.
No, I love that. I love the whole scene, as in the whole background music and like how they made it, and not like a. How do I explain? I like the drama in that scene.
Which scene?
Okay.
Wait,
last-
and
End wala scene,
and when
okay,
he
okay.
dies, na.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's how I remembered. Also because at that time I was used to watching movies जिसमें happy ending होती है.
Hmm.
So it was very ye for me. कि,
when you
oh,
say at that time, you're talking about
When
the,
it released.
the mid 2000s, because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were also
yeah,
4
I was
5
also
years
kid,
old.
na. So
Yes.
I was used to end.
Life was happy for you back then.
हाँ, and also Shahrukh की movies happy ending होती थी mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was I think different for me. So those movies would stick with you.
Hmm.
जिनकी एक sad ending होती है. तेरे नाम also was a cult because उसकी sad ending है.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's similar arc again and stuff.
Hmm.
So I think like Rockstar stuck with
Hmm.
some people because of the whole
Sairat
ending.
also.
Yeah. So I think sad ending is what made it even like, which is all Bhansali
Yeah.
movies now that I think about it.
Because I feel like because it's a given that movie का end happy होगा, तो when it's a sad ending you're like अरे क्या
हाँ.
खत्म हो गया, अरे आगे क्या, so you're left with more questions.
You leave theater thinking about like Gajni and stuff.
Yeah, that's what.
So I have two sort of larger questions before we wrap up. One is, again, this is something I said I had a problem with Sanjay Leela Bhansali film, is that does Sanjay Leela Bhansali glorify regressive values? What I mean to say by that, does he sacrifice progressive values at the cost of authenticity? For example, even in this, it was made in 2002, so the novel was almost 80 odd years old. So we saw Kashyap do this, is he could have given more agency to the female characters. He could have played maybe with the caste angle, but he didn't do anything of that sort. And
Yeah.
something even as recent as Padmavat, where the whole Johar controversy is, he ends the movie by depicting what happened, but not making a statement that this
This
was.
is bad.
He made it look beautiful. कि it's a beautiful
Kind
thing
of,
to do.
yeah,
to
yeah,
die.
Yeah.
Do you think that is problematic?
Hmm.
Or let me. So you've seen Gangubai, right? Do you
Yeah.
think Gangubai was a progressive film?
So yeah, that's what I think. Gangubai was his most feminist film also.
Okay.
Like Gangubai, और वही बहुत amazing है कि extreme है Gangubai और Padmavat if you see.
Yeah.
I think eventually he wants to make stuff which looks beautiful and sounds good, and he finally found it in Gangubai ki how to, be in the current era and also make it look beautiful in other ways.
Right.
I think Sanjay Leela Bhansali cracked the code because it's like because he's a man, so he's also used to writing in the male gaze.
Right.
तो I think उसने ये भी formula I feel उसने apply किया होगा कि what if Gangubai was a man तो मैं मूवी कैसी लिखता
Yeah,
कि ये
yeah.
उसके कौन से सीन्स होते हैं लाइक अभी फॉर एग्जांपल इवन दैट वन सीन वेयर शी फॉल्स इन लव विद शांतनु महेश्वरी आई फॉरगॉट हिज कैरेक्टर्स नेम बट शी फॉल्स इन लव विद शांतनु महेश्वरी वो भी काफी हीरो के में कि शी फाइंड्स हिम एंड शी इज ए तू इधर आ लाइक तू ए तू अभी मेरे से प्यार करे शी लाइक ए तू एक्चुअली आई जस्ट रियलाइज्ड आई कांट गेट मैरिड टू यू सो ए तू अभी उससे शादी करेगा दैट वाज आल्सो वेरी हीरो ऑफ हर टू डू दैट लाइक टिपिकल बॉलीवुड हीरो सो दैट्स
Even
व्हाई
though the movie had Ajay Devgan's character who would have been the
Yeah.
savior in other stories.
बट देन सी उसका भी पूरा एजेंसी नहीं था अजय देवगन का वो भी बस जरा सी हेल्प के लिए था सो आई फील लाइक संजय लीला भंसाली जी भी लिखते टाइम यही सोच के लिखा होगा था कि इसकी जगह अगर कोई मेल हीरो होता तो वो क्या करता एंड देन फिर उसने सब चीजें डाली थी
This Anurag Kashyap liked the first movie of Bhansali. He liked and he said the same thing.
रियली ओह
कि हाँ कि आलिया
बिमल अनुराग कश्यप भाई हेलो
he said कि आलिया looked like 70s Bachchan in
Oh.
Gangubai,
Yeah.
which is so true.
True. So, any final thoughts on Devdas, and then we'll go on to our rating.
Rating.
नहीं rating करेंगे.
Okay, sorry,
any
I have a
last
question
thing?
for
Yeah.
both of you. So, if this movie, Shahrukh Khan is the lead, but what if, I just want to ask you, what if Paro was the lead? Then ये movie कैसी बनती? इसमें क्या अलग changes होते? Pulkit, you go first. Just think of this movie from Paro and Paro's perspective alone. Paro hero है.
I think पारो पहले तो लंदन जा नहीं पाती 10 साल के लिए उसको छोड़ के. Like
Yeah,
it's-
nice.
It's because when he comes back, she remembers 10 साल इतने महीने इतने moments
Yeah.
and stuff. So I think the conflict is also there because they are very different personalities and stuff. And like the fact that Shahrukh is okay living without her until he loses her is the point. So I think the movie from Paro's perspective won't be entertaining enough.
इतना अच्छे से ले जा रहा था मुझे लगा
Yeah.
अब कुछ point बताएगा end में एकदम
I
बहुत.
think trauma नहीं बन पाता. अगर trauma नहीं है तो भंसाली की movies कैसे बने भंसाली जी की?
Yeah. What do you think, Abbas?
So the setting and time period, everything is the same, but from Paro's perspective. I think I would then, if I were to make a movie with Paro as the main character, then I would concentrate on the relationship between her and her mother. Because she's the
Nice.
one female character that she has the most access to, and her support system is her mother.
Yeah.
So the mother character, and when she goes to the new house, the mother-in-law character.
Nice.
Even she is not portrayed as the tyrant sass, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would have concentrated more on those relationships because the mother and the mother-in-law have probably gone through worse things in their time.
Yes.
So how do women pass on their experiences so that their children don't go through the same thing? I would have.
It's interesting that you bring it up because this is also something I've noticed in real life, in my life and otherwise also. Ki women who women who downplay their pain, they do the greatest disservice to womankind.
Right.
Because by saying ये दर्द नहीं होता, इससे दर्द नहीं होता, you are basically saying नहीं होता. तो जिसको दर्द हो रहा है वो भी बोले कि नहीं कभी. Because she's like, this is not. As women, we are also made to feel that this is not supposed to pain. तो मुझे जो हो रहा है वो pain नहीं है, वो शायद discomfort है. And discomfort is not all that bad. So
I would have loved to see from Paro's perspective if they fell in love and stuff, and then she goes to US and then she sees the world and realizes how toxic he is because she has lived in
Nice.
that area
Yeah.
for her whole life, waited for him. She hadn't seen other men or even how people should treat each other. Then it could have ended like Queen.
Queen, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
End में entertaining बना ही दी Pulkit ने.
It's a happy ending at least.
Queen, yeah. Okay, do we have Chandramukhi?
From her perspective.
Yeah.
That's very interesting because I refuse to believe that Devdas is the first man that she has fallen in love with to that degree.
Nice.
And of course, I mean, there have been other stories written like this where, and I think someone in the movie makes that. I think Devdas only makes that dialogue that we don't consider the love of a courtesan seriously because like ये तो हर एक को entertain कर रही है हर रात को, like ये क्यों
yeah.
प्यार करी, तेरे
Right.
प्यार की क्या औकात है, तू तो मतलब हर किसी के साथ कर रही है. So the courtesan character becomes a great knowledge of stories when they get old. And so for me, I would make a Chandramukhi anthology of all the men that she had found interesting or
Saat
fallen
Khum
in.
Maaf
Yeah, kind
Or
of.
Gangubai.
of Gangubai. Yeah.
Because like Paro still gets the Oda of a Thakurain. Like Chandramukhi doesn't even get that. She has to still
Yeah.
go to work the next day after losing the man she
Yeah.
loved. Yeah.
Right.
So, for me,
Maybe
that's
she
it.
watches Gangubai Kathiawad and gets
Yeah.
inspired.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
finally.
SLB
SLB universe.
SLB universe.
Yeah, what do you
SLBU.
think, Chandramukhi?
I can't really pinpoint.
Will it be entertaining though, Pulkit?
If I make it, I'll make sure. But from her perspective, no, I can't think of anything.
It will be a different movie altogether from her
For sure.
perspective. Yeah, and Devdas will be just like as Abbas said, he'll be just one of the many characters in
Yeah.
her life.
Who goes and comes and goes.
Comes and goes. Yeah. Yeah.
Because right now we are made to feel like it's the only man she likes.
Yeah.
Because ऐसा वही है कि ऐसा स्टीरियोटाइप रहता है नहीं उनको प्यार एक ही इंसान से होगा.
Yeah, and also I think now while talking I remembered कि वो time पे भी in Bollywood if they had to show a courtesan's character, so वो ऐसे दिखाते थे एकदम first of all टपोरी टाइप बात करे एकदम confident है like करीना इन चमेली.
Yeah.
But this one she was like अगर तुम बताते नहीं मुझे कि इसका कैरेक्टर ये तो मुझे भी लगता है ये पारो जैसी है किसी घर की बहू है या
Right,
किसी घर की ऐसी
yeah.
अच्छा एज लाइक सोफिस्टिकेटेड घर की बेटी है बट देन आई लाइक हाउ उसने डिग्निटी दिया उसके कैरेक्टर को भी कि शी इज इन लाइक पान वान नहीं खा रही है.
This is again the part of SLB universe, which is it's the first movie where we are shown कि Bhansali is a soft heart for them because in Savarya again Rani is
Yeah.
and Rani when Ranbir को रहने को घर नहीं मिलता वो उसके through like उसके around रहता है सब ऐसा.
Yeah.
And then it came into full blown love in
Gangubai.
Gangubai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Life comes full circle. All right, let's go for the rating. So, Pulkit, we at the end of the episode we do a rewatchability scale, which means one is that it was totally terrible and it was a object of its time or bilkul dekhi nahi gayi. It has aged really badly. 10 being wow, I appreciate it even more now and it has grown in my eyes. So, on a scale of 1 to 10 on a rewatchability scale, where do you place Devdas? How much would you give Devdas?
I would still give it 6.
Not bad. 6.
Yeah, I think if the cast was different,
Hmm.
like you know the grace they had at that time, and even now if you rewatch it,
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it still watchable more than anything.
Yeah.
Like they're problematic but with grace.
This will be the new tagline of Devdas.
Problematic
It's
but with
problematic
grace.
but with grace.
Yeah.
Urjita, on a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like the movie is not rewatchable at all. But in like I like some of the scenes, जो कि
okay.
मैं I keep revisiting them. तो not like continuously, but ऐसे 6 सालों में एक बार. So yeah, I feel like 4.5.
Ooh. Okay, I'll give it a 5. I thought mine will be the lowest, but good to know that Urjita has gone for a lower ranking. I think it's too long. It has too many songs, but the songs are good. So I will echo what Pulkit said. It's regressive, but with grace.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Regress.
On that note, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Pulkit, where can one find you? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, just check out my Instagram and YouTube. I'll be building soon. So yeah, Pulkit Kochar.
You can also find him on LinkedIn for now.
No, I'm not.
Because
I'm unemployed by choice. Okay.
We'll put Pulkit's Instagram handle in the episode description. Urjita, where can one find you?
at my home. No. You can find me on Instagram at @urjitavani. You can also find me on Twitter at @vaniurjita. And I'm a writer who writes shows, and I'm a comedian who does shows.
Yes.
So yeah, please come. Thank you.
And you can find me at Abbas Momin on Twitter and AbbasMomin88 on Instagram. I'm also a comedian and a writer, but I have to write new jokes. So hold on to those offers that you're going to bring me. And with that,
मैं भी Twitter पे sorry Kochar Pulkit.
Kochar Pulkit also follow, also in the episode description. So everyone, go say goodbye to everyone. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye bye.